Hello and welcome. This is my video for Web110, Web Fundamentals, and I'm going to be talking to you about adding graphics and multimedia to your website. Before I get to showing you how to add graphics and multimedia to a website, we'll cover a bit of the basics. I will be explaining what graphics and multimedia are and why it is beneficial to have them on a website. I will also go into a bit of detail about different types of image files and when you should use each type. So let's get started. What are graphics? Graphics are an image or visualization of an object. This can be anything from a photograph, an illustration, a logo, diagram, chart, infographic, and plenty of other examples. You will see graphics on 99% of websites on the internet. So what is multimedia then? Multimedia is a form of communication that combines different content forms such as text, images, audio, animation, and video. For the sake of simplicity, I will be focusing on just video and audio when I talk about multimedia in this video. So now that we have a basic understanding of what graphics and multimedia are, we can go over why it is beneficial to have media on a website. The inclusion of multimedia helps to improve the visual aspect of a website, create more interest from site users, and also opens up other ways to tell a story or present an idea or information. Multimedia content will increase the amount of time visitors spend on a website because these elements give readers a reason to stay on a website longer after they have finished reading the text. Multimedia can also help a website's ranking on search engines. When search engine bots crawl through a website, they stop at images and search for keywords that can boost the site's ranking. This is why it is important to add alt text to images. We will talk more about alt text when we get to the process of adding images to a website. So we have covered what computer graphics are and why it is important they are featured on a website. Now we need to learn about the different types of images and when these formats should be used. When it comes to computer graphic images, there are two types. These are raster images and vector images. Both have advantages and disadvantages and are ideal for different graphics. So first, let's talk about raster images. Raster images are composed of pixels on a grid of x and y coordinates on a display space. An example of a raster graphic would be a photograph, illustration, or painting. You'd want to use a raster graphic file for these types of graphics because raster files allow for rich colors and brightness gradation. While raster files do allow these types of images to look their best, a downside is that it usually is difficult to modify these images without a loss of information. This is because raster files are resolution dependent. What this means is that if you attempt to zoom in on a raster image or resize it to make it larger, you will notice the image will pixelate and lose its original clarity. Common raster image file types that you have probably seen before are JPEGs, GIFs, and PNG files. The second type of image file is a vector image file. Vector graphics are unique in that they use mathematical equations to generate an image. A vector image can be a simple shape or something more complex. The equations in a vector file will tell the software how to create lines, curves, and colors in the image. Unlike a raster image, a vector image has no pixels. Instead, it consists of outlines. These outlines can scale up or down to an infinite degree without becoming distorted or losing any detail. This means that vector images are great for logos, icons, infographics, and animations because they could be used in many different sizes. Common vector files that you may recognize are AI, Adobe Illustrator format, and SVG, scalable vector graphics. Alright, we've learned all about graphics and multimedia. It's time to learn how to put them onto a website. As you can see, there's a pretty bare bones website right here that we created. And I think it would look a lot better if we had a few images on here. So we'll be putting a shape right over here and a photo right over here. Before we do that, I would suggest when you're doing this that you have all of the files that you are going to incorporate in your HTML document in the same folder. This makes writing everything out in the code a lot easier, and it makes it easier for the website to find everything. So as you can see, we have everything here. Let's put this in here. Here's my HTML document. As you can see, I made some notes so I know where to put these. So let's add an image. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add an image attribute. There will be no closing tag for this one, so just the image, but we will need to add a source. So source equals, and then we will find the image that we're going to put in there. And that one is going to be shape.svg. Along with this, we are going to need to put in an alt text. An alt text is the written copy that appears in place of an image on a web page if the image fails to load on a user screen. This text also helps screen reading tools to describe images to visually impaired readers and also allows search engines to better crawl and rank your website. So for this, we're just going to have a simple shape. So I'm just going to put in alt equals shape. So let's see, we'll do a save and we'll see how that one shows up. Oh, sorry, forgot to put the little syntax right there. All right, so we got that. Let's go back to our website and see what happens. There we go, we have our shape. So just to show you what the alt text would do. So let's just say we misspelled this. So save again, do a reload, and as you can see, the alt text shows up right there. So we'll fix that. Back to shape. And now let's put a photo down here. So once again, image source equals parentheses. And this time we're going to put in Dexter. And since that is our cat image, put alt cat. So we'll save this again. Go back to our website, do a refresh. And there he is. There's our completed website. Looks good, right? So maybe we're looking at this website and we realize that Dexter actually isn't adding to this and we want something else. We want something like audio. Easy way to do that is we can either go to the W3 Schools audio page and grab the HTML code to have audio in there. We can do that. So do a quick copy, go back to our coding program, and let's see. Oh, it looks like I already put something right there. So let's replace that. That's where Dexter was. So we have that. And usually standard practice is to have two different types of audio files just in case who's ever viewing this website cannot open one of these. But I only have one copy of this sound file, so we'll just go with that. So we have our audio controls, the source of our audio, and the prompt that would show up if this person's browser does not support that audio element. So we will do this, we'll add this, and we'll need to change this audio to the audio format we're using. We'll do a save. We'll go back to our website, and there we have our audio file. Let's see if it works. All right, our audio works. but I think it'd be a little bit better if we had some video in here instead. So we'll get the HTML video element over from W3 Schools again, very similar to the audio. Only difference really is that we have width and height for the video, so it can be viewed correctly. So once again, we're going to copy and paste this. We'll go back to our HTML document and we'll grab this and just paste over it. We'll have our video, our source once again. Once again, I do not have two different files of this, so I will just use one. And we will put in our desired file in there. All right, double check, make sure everything looks good. It does, so we'll do a save. Go back to our website. Give it a refresh. There we are. Let's see if it works. Here, let's start right where we left off.
Nobody move, there's blood on the floor. And I can't find my heart.
All right, our video works. We now know how to put images, audio, and video on a website. I hope this helped you out, and that'll do it for me. Thank you.